Hey, and thank you for being proactive and for being a label-worthy subscriber. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 of the best strategies that you can do to create a tribe of true fans. After you've watched the video, make sure you download the free ebook where you can read through all of these tips at your leisure. The link is in the description below. Okay, so tip 1 is meet and greets. If you're playing a live show, offer to hang out with some of your fans before or after the show. You could offer this to say the first 10, 20 or 50 ticket sales. It's up to you to decide. Even if you don't perform live as a musician, you could still do meet and greets. If you've got a decent following in a particular location that's convenient for you to get to, then offer a 30-minute hangout. Go grab a beer or a coffee or a soft drink or whatever. Now use this as an opportunity to build relationships. Keep the focus on them rather than yourself. Don't talk about yourself all the time. Chat to them about music, chat about the hobbies and their interests. If you are playing at a venue, then maybe hire out a smaller room beforehand and do an intimate warm-up gig or an acoustic set. If you're feeling really generous, you could maybe offer the first, say, 10 people to come hang out before the show and you'll buy them a drink. Imagine if a band that you really like got in touch with you after you bought a ticket and said, congratulations, you're one of the first people to buy a ticket to this show. Come hang out with us before and we'll buy you a beer. Even if you live in a really expensive location, it's like £5 a beer. That's going to cost, what, like 50 quid? If there's 4 or 5 of you in a band, it works out at what, like a tenner, just a bit more each. But imagine the value that you are adding to that person's life. They're going to love the show. They're going to be really enthusiastic. They'll probably buy some merch and they're definitely going to go home feeling really good and probably stream your music and probably come to more shows in future. And most importantly, they're going to tell all of the friends about the amazing experience they had at your show. Tip number 2 is having top fans and having a special reward for your top fans. Now, this is probably best being done on a monthly basis, although you could stretch it out longer if you want. Now, a top fan could be someone who shares the most of your content in a particular month. It could be someone who has recommended you to a friend and now their friend is a really, really big fan of your music. It could be someone who always leaves positive comments every time you make a post on Facebook or Instagram. It could be someone who never misses a live show. They are always there. It could be someone who's added you to the Spotify playlist and they listen to your rotation every single day. It is entirely up to you to define what a top fan is, and you can change this from month to month. Now, the prize doesn't have to be anything major. It can literally just be something really small, like a badge or a pin or a pendant or something that you just send out to a particular person on a monthly basis. Now, the effect that that's going to have is, first of all, it's going to make them feel really good. It's going to make them feel really appreciated. They're definitely going to continue what they're doing and probably be even more enthusiastic about it. They're also going to tell all of the friends and family, hey, look at this, what this band sent me because I'm a fan of their music. And they're probably also going to post about it. They might post a selfie showing their little badge or whatever it is that you've sent them and tag you in it, and that's going to get you more exposure, and it's also going to show the rest of the world that you really care about your fans and you go above and beyond. Maybe there's people on your page that have never commented, never liked, they're just kind of there lurking, but they actually do really like your music. It could encourage them to be more proactive, which is better for you. Tip number 3 is behind the scenes videos. Do not underestimate the power of pulling back the curtains and giving people an insight into the stuff they don't normally see, especially to those people who are true, genuine fans. They will find this stuff really interesting and they will watch it. Now, these don't have to be really long, detailed videos. Short, to the point, recorded with an iPhone, these will work just as well. Now, some of the stuff you could create is give people an insight into your songwriting process. How do you take a song from nothing through to fully finished and written? Set a phone up in the corner of the room and talk through each stage. You can edit it down afterwards. You could create a studio diary. If you're in the process of recording a single, an EP or an album, do a short video at the end of each day explaining what you've been doing in that particular session. How have you achieved a particular sound for this new record? You could create a video showing people backstage at one of your shows. How do you prepare for a show? Is there a particular vocal warm-up that you do? Has any one of your bandmates got any annoying or weird habits? You know, something funny that you could share. Keep it light-hearted. If you're on tour, then you could create a tour diary, a short sequence of videos just explaining stuff that people don't normally see. What do you do in between shows? Where do you like to eat? Where do you get your clothes from? How do you stay fresh when you're singing 3, 4, 5 nights in a row? Now, people that are genuine fans will find this stuff interesting. You could offer album pre-sale packages. Now, we all know that most people nowadays consume music through streaming services such as Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and so on. However, there is definitely still a niche for physical copies, especially vinyl in certain genres of music. So what you could do is do a limited run of limited edition CDs or vinyl, if you've got the budget to do that, and offer those on sale before the general release. When people buy them, then you can put together a little package of extra stuff to say thank you for buying a pre-sale album. You could include some of your merch. You could include some stickers, some pin badges, a lighter, some pens with your logo on. Basically anything that's going to show your appreciation to them. Maybe include some tickets to the album launch night or to your next show. The next tip is simply post every day on your social media accounts. To maintain a loyal fan base, you need to be a big presence. You need to be there every time they open the phone and scroll through Facebook or Instagram. They need to come across you. So you need to be posting regularly. If not, then they'll forget about you and they'll move on, okay? Don't make every post about me. Encourage people to engage. Now, things that you could talk about is share a funny story, share something entertaining or something relevant that's going off in the music industry or in your particular niche. You could talk about who inspires you as an artist or who inspired your latest song. You could go live. You could have discussions, you could post an opinion or have a debate. Definitely avoid politics for that, because that tends to separate people rather than bring people together. You could post about gear or nerdy techie stuff. If you're really into your guitars or your drums or synths or something like that, post a gear related question. Something else you could offer people is sharing your story. People love an inspirational story or having some background or context to something that they're interested in. Maybe it's your latest single and you share the story behind the lyrics or what inspired them. Maybe people can relate to that. Maybe you can help people through a particular situation that they're going through. Talk about how did you get to where you are now? What struggles did you face? What did you have to overcome to get there? What struggles do you still face in everyday life? Who or what inspires you to create music? What is your why? Why do you even do this? What is the story behind your band name? What's the story behind your lyrics and what do they mean? Create a video where you explain that to them. Maybe your lyrics just make people feel good. Get that message across to them. The next tip is all about engagement. No matter how big your following or your inner circle is, it is your job to bring people into it and to keep it growing. When someone comments on one of your posts, comment back. Not only does that keep your post fresh in social media algorithms, it keeps it at the top of people's feed, it also shows people that you care enough to respond. And you haven't got a bot or an autoresponder doing that for you. Or even worse, you just don't respond at all. If someone likes your post but they don't comment, well, maybe they're just shy or a bit of an introvert. Send them a direct message and just thank them for liking your latest post and ask them how the day was. Show the world that you're an actual human. Offer help and advice if you can and comment on other people's posts. Now, I appreciate that this can be time consuming. However, consider how many hours do you waste doing mundane stuff, like binge watching Netflix or playing video games, all stuff that doesn't really contribute to your career as an artist. Now, I'm not saying don't do those things. Everyone needs time to wind down. But even if you just hop on social media for 30 minutes, an hour every day, you could even do that while you sat watching Netflix and be doing something productive and proactive for your music career. Now the next one's a big one, and it's something that a lot of independent artists don't do enough of, and it's support other artists. Show your support for all of the other artists in your local community and in your niche, especially those that are in a similar position to you with a similar level of following. Never ever badmouth another artist, because that almost always comes back around negatively on you. So how can you show your support for another artist? Go to the shows, stream the music, post about them online, buy the merch, share their music with your fans. Why should you do that? Well, this all links into something called the reciprocity effect. If you do something good, something nice for someone, they will feel compelled to do something back for you. So if you support them and you share their music, they will support you and share your music. Hey presto, you have just broadened your fan base and your reach to all of their fans as well. Don't live and work in a bubble. The next tip is competitions. Run competitions for your fans. You can do this right from your Instagram account or from your Facebook page. And these could be every month, every 2 months. It could be every time you've got a new release coming out. It could be a particular lull in your career. Maybe it's been a few months since you've released something and you're still working on the next one, and you just need to keep engagement up on your page. Run a competition, keep engagement up. Now, create a post. Maybe this could be something like your most recent music video or a lyric video, typically something that you want people to see. Give them a time period and ask them to share it and leave a comment. Even better, ask them to tag one of their friends in the comments, because that broadens your reach even more. At the end of the time period, choose a winner at random and then send a prize out. Make the prize something worthwhile. Be generous. More people will enter. Even if the prize ends up costing you 30, 40, 50 quid or more, it's worth it, because if you pump that money into a Facebook ad, that could potentially give you less returns than if you've got 100, 500, 1,000 people all entering your competition, tagging their friends and sharing it with you. So be generous. I've seen some bands offering really generous prizes, things like Apple AirPods. Now I appreciate these are like £150, but if there's 4 or 5 of you in a band, it's like 50 quid or less each. That is money well spent if that really increases your reach. I'm not saying you have to be that generous. I'm not saying that you have to put all of that money into it, but it's definitely something that's worth considering. Now the final tip is get people to cover your songs. Now, how could you do that? Well, the best way is probably to run it as a competition. If you've got some fans or followers that are singers, play guitar, maybe they're in a band themselves, ask them to record a cover of their favourite song of yours. Again, an iPhone video will do. We don't want to exclude people if they don't have any recording equipment. Get them to upload it to Instagram or Facebook and tag your page in it. At the end of the set time period, then you choose your favourite as the winner. You could maybe even rank it. You could choose like your top 5 or your top 3. Again, you need to have prizes to encourage people to enter, and you need to be generous. Okay, offer generous prizes that are going to encourage people to enter. Now, if you imagine if someone really likes your music and they record a cover of your song, they're going to feel really good about it if you share that with all of your fans. That's going to make them feel amazing that a band that they really like has shared them singing a cover of your song. Some prizes that you could offer is a meet and greet at a show. You could buy them lunch or dinner before or after the show. Remember, we're being generous here. You could offer a full merch package if you've got lots of really cool merch, hoodies, t-shirts, badges, pins, lighters. That could be a really cool prize. You could offer free tickets to every one of your shows for the next 12 months. That might sound like a lot, but remember, we're being generous here. We want to add value. We want to make this person feel really appreciated. Now, guess what? If you give someone a free ticket to every show for the next 12 months, they're almost certainly going to come to every one of those shows. And secondly, they're almost certainly going to bring someone with them who will buy a ticket. So that second person will pay for the ticket that you have given to the winner. And also, if they bring a different person with them every time, well, that is more people that are being introduced to your music, and it's broadening your reach, and you could end up with a handful of new fans from that. So it is definitely something that is worth considering. I hope this video and the ebook has been of massive value to you, and I hope now it's much clearer all of the things that you can do to build that tribe of true fans with your music. Now, as ever, all of this stuff needs to be done consistently. It's no good doing one of these things 1 month and then going quiet for 3 months and then picking it up again. You have to have a big presence all of the time. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below, or to shoot me a direct message, or to shoot me an email. I would be more than happy to offer any help or advice, or to answer any questions that you've got. Make sure that you're in the Label Worthy Facebook group if you're not already. There's tons of cool discussions that go off over there, and there's also exclusive content that I post as and when it happens. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Now that I found you.